Hello and welcome to Play of the Night, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons homebrew campaign where these lot play with this DM going through all sorts of trials and tribulations made from magical imaginations. I am your humble Dungeon Master James J.C. Laird, and joining me this time we have Jasmine playing me.
Hello.
We have Robin playing Gerd.
Oh.
We have Storm playing Kiva.
Hello.
And we have Vi playing Ida. Though we're not sure if we've lost someone as we just started the stream, so forgive us a moment. If you are new around here, thank you for checking us out. If you are returning, welcome back, and always good to see you. How was your day? I feel like not a lot of people ask that in Twitch, so how was your day? Let us know in the comments. If you are new though, there's one thing you must be aware of. We run an interactive service, and that means that you will be getting involved in a poll at the end of the night, and you will get to vote on who it is you think is most deserving of DM inspiration, allowing for a reroll of their D20, potentially turning failure into success. Last we left off, the party of adventurers were setting back from a recently procured job and had run into a travelling bard. After hearing a tale and setting in for the night, the bard continued on their way, making haste for another campsite and further campgrounds, in a hurry to get back for the festival that will be taking place shortly in the city of Araya. During the night, a mysterious creature shrieked, and the party was roused in preparation for battle, but fortune favoured them, and combat did not seek them. However, in the morning, battle scars and signs surrounded their campsite. After moving on, they uncovered another campsite, heavily destroyed, ransacked, and bloodied, with the viscera of many mounts torn asunder. Travelling and following the trail, you eventually made your way into an encampment, a walled village, where there was no one to be seen, and an air of stillness crept in, and an uneasy level of chill permeated the vicinity. Kiva, being a first responder, ran forward to search for those who might be in need of assistance, but unfortunately all had perished, and a young girl emerged as a ghostly spectre, emerging through the walls to speak to the characters and warn them of what she had seen in her final moments. A creature only known at this moment as some kind of stalker, with eyes so beautiful that it caused others to give up life after seeing it. It was clear that a battle had taken place, and it was clear that whatever was harassing the area had been searching further and further afield for prey and for quarry. And so you decided and elected to camp in the largest homestead you could find and await the night. And thus, as you did, the night came in, and just as the first watch came to an end and the second broke into its stride, the kindling of the fire burning low, you heard a familiar, awful scream. Now, because we're running a little bit late, we already have rolled our initiative, so we will be getting right into that. Would somebody mind adding in some battle music? Any takers?
I don't think I have that power.
I don't know what battle music to add because we don't have any copyright-free music right now, so whatever we do add is going to get...
We're not really making any money out of YouTube, so I'm not really too concerned about that. If it's being demonetized on YouTube, so what? It's for the sake of the stream, which makes it better. So I'd say we just stick something on. At least then we've got something. You okay there, Vi? You back with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Excellent. Well, the night is dark, and once again the unfamiliar chill creeps in as the late spring becoming summer nights still hold an element of frost to them. As you have huddled around the hearth in the centre of the homestead, the chimney billowing and announcing your presence here, a familiar scream shrieks out, and you charge out ready to do battle. May, you are the first to react, and peering through the windows, you notice that the once cloudless sky filled with a bright, two bright heliaxical moons and a night sky full of stars has suddenly become extremely dark, and you are aware that whatever creature has arrived is here, and you hear a thud off in the not too distant, and a familiar screech rolling out across the vicinity that chills you to your bones.
So we're in this building?
You are in the big building. The door is here. This is the doorway.
At the bar?
Once again.
At the back?
This is the center of the. This is the center of the village where the main market and such are. This is the manor house where I believe her name was Dana. Brought you inside and you found her body at rest. There are windows if you wished to try and escape through them, but it would be a bit of a squeeze and it'd be a bit of a check.
Okay, also a question. Do companions need to be placed on the map as well?
Yes, please. They will act on your initiative just for the sake of ease, because a lot of people have companions and familiars.
Okay.
What kind of token are we supposed to check for our familiars / companions if we...
I'll need to add a token, but I believe the smallest token currently at our discretion is the Flame Skull. Is pretty small, so if you want to use that, and just put maybe
Everyone just grab a flame skull that needs one and put the first initial of your character in there to keep
well,
them
I'm pretty
separated.
sure 3 out of the 4 here, and then there will be 4 out of the 6. So yes.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying put the initial in there in one
I
of the
have a
boxes.
picture of mine.
Well, we can sort that out later.
Look at her being fancy.
I'm just going to use Forge's image for
That's fine. For ease of distinction. Okay. Well, Jasmine.
Who keeps moving my token? Can you put it back, please?
Well, sorry?
Someone keeps moving my token.
I'm not touching anything.
Okay.
I put my flame skull on my face with the name Gerd on it.
Okay. Alright,
What's
sorry.
the problem?
I was checking something. So there's a window. Where's the window?
The window is here and here.
I didn't see that.
On
sorry.
the two ends.
The 2 ends.
Yeah, okay. So if I go like that, it saves me a little bit. Like again.
There's a squeeze, so though for you I don't think it would be too much of a problem.
And this is the thing we're fighting right here?
You just know they have arrived. That's just where I've got the tokens at the moment.
We have no idea where they are or where they're coming from, and it's total blackness, right?
It is pitch black, yes.
Oh god, do I know a direction that a sound came from?
It has emanated all around this, because you're in a small depression between small hills, so it's just, you've heard it probably overhead.
Okay, then I will light a torch, because I don't have dark vision.
Okay. So you... and your torch blossoms into light. Are you going to move outside so other people have the benefit?
What do you mean, move outside? What?
Are you going to move outside? You're currently indoors.
I was gonna go over and look out the window.
Okay. So, make a perception check. And move yourself to the window.
Perception. 24?
24.
24, yeah.
24. You see a number of creatures that perhaps are creating. You would almost imagine it could have been a swarm, and a few of them have peeled away to break down into this vicinity to check out what is the source of life. And what you see is almost a dragon, except its body is too thin and too serpentine, whereas dragons are much more muscular. And flanked on either side of it are... It's difficult to see due to the darkness above, but you do get the impression there's two other creatures with it. Dark with trails of wisps of shadow.
Okay. Would I happen to know if this thing that I see is a monstrosity?
You were aware that it was, yes.
So it is a monstrosity.
You knew from Misty's understanding that it was some form of monstrosity.
Okay. Sweet. Okay, I don't have any actions left, do I? I have a little bit of movement. Can I get outside the...
You gonna climb out the window?
Yeah.
Sure. You
So
climb
25,
out.
I've probably been moving, so 10, 15, 20. I'm gonna try to get closer to the flying monstrosity.
They are overhead. I've just put them up there, out of the way. They're not there. They're overhead.
Overhead.
Yeah.
Right,
So
do you
they're
know how
like
far away though?
Hundreds of feet.
Oh shoot, it's...
Flying.
Oh no, okay. Can I fly up while when I get out of the window then, diagonally 25 feet?
Sure.
Or 20 feet?
That'll
So
put
20 feet
you
there.
about 75 feet away from this creature.
Okay. That's the end of my turn. That was my action, probably my bonus action and everything.
Yep, that was
So
everything.
before it was
That would bring it to Kiva. You are up.
Did she just run out? Did she just run outside? Oh, God damn it! And Kiva will run outside, and as she does, that's the wrong token. Stop doing this to me, game. And as she does so, she will cast Aura of Purity.
Okay. You step outside, and how do you cast a spell? Do you reach for a holy symbol, or do you say a prayer?
So Kiva reaches for the holy symbol and says, "Hail or shield us from the corruption that walks the night." And yeah, there's just a pulse of sunlight across from the holy symbol that seems to just wash out into a soft radiance.
Does it create light, or is it just an effect?
Oh, that's more of a thing, and the
Okay.
radiance sort of fades.
So as you send out this pulse of energy, a lot of you feel it through the walls. Suddenly this familiar guiding presence of Kiva's divinity reaching out and giving you a steering hand, covering your senses and sharpening them at the same time. If you want to put an aura around yourself of 20, so we've got the bright light.
Yep. It's 30 feet.
Okay, 30 feet for you, Kiva, and May, can you put an aura of 20 feet around you? Just for the light, because I think a lot of people are going to require it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the end of your turn, Kiva?
I'm just confirming exactly how far I've moved and flashing up the spell into the chat so everyone can see it.
Good.
Oh, okay, I have more movement.
Sorry.
And my dog will move, and Mole will move with me.
Okay.
So,
That brings it to Ada. You are up. You have seen your monk companion strike a torch, do a barrel roll out the window, and fly straight up into the sky. Your clerical healer has stepped out, taking their censer out, grabbing hold of their holy symbol, and a familiar pulse washes over you. The inside of the household is, as I last described it, it's wooden interior, well appointed, but not richly appointed. A window at either end of the household is probably your best chance of getting out, as of the largest windows, unless you want to use the door and go out and follow Kiva.
That. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run out the door first. So let's be like, sorry, get out of the way, please. Sorry. Who are these 2 tokens over here, and why are there 2 of them?
Sorry, which 2 tokens is that?
This one, this one.
Kiva and they're familiar. I'm sorry, I was muted. I forgot about the flip up mute.
Kiva and they're
Okay,
familiar.
you have a familiar that.
Yes,
okay.
everyone,
that's the
pretty much
complaint.
everybody's got familiar.
Except me. Okay. I have occasional stagehands, and that's about it. So, can I do I have a vague impression of where these things?
You have superior dark vision, don't you? So you're actually the first person that gets a real understanding of what these creatures look like. One of them is the face of a rat, but it has these glowing eyes that seem to be getting brighter the longer you look at it. On a neck almost similar to a horse, with a billowing black streak of dark energy that exudes from the base of its skull and along its spine. 2 large black wings escape from its shoulders. Long taloned claws sit close on short legs, set into a long serpentine body, thick like a large constrictor snake. 2 tusks on the underside, like an orc, lead up, and 2 tusks on the top lead down to give it a much more carnivorous appeal. The other 2 creatures are the same type of creature. I think I need no description if you want to look at the smaller of the 3 tokens. They are horrifying looking little.
Oh.
They are horrifying things.
Oh, big boy's scary too. Oh, sorry.
Do you want to go up there?
Most have. For the stream's purposes, I will bring up a big image of it for you all.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna change the color of my aura just to differentiate it.
Okay.
They're both light, so it doesn't really matter, right?
It's not light, it's
Okay,
a
no.
different aura.
Oh, my bad.
Kiva.
Mine is my aura of purity.
Ah.
Kiva, Ida is just going to simply ask you, do you want to get up there? And then before
Hey,
waiting
that would
for
probably be good, but I'm
before
a
waiting
little
for an
sore feet.
answer, she's just going to hug you and poof us both up onto the roof over there. Next to-
So these things are in the sky at the moment. That's just where I've got the tokens for.
Oh, okay, they're on this.
Yeah, they're in the sky. They're about 100 feet up at the moment and racing
100
down
feet
towards
up.
you.
How broad is the back of the biggest one?
It is a large creature, so it is definitely get-onable. However, it is in a steep dive, so it will be tricky.
Okay. We'll save that for later then. I thought there was a route. A 3-dimensional space on 2-dimensional.
Yeah. It's just the fact that they're flying down towards you. They rolled really low on the initiative. And you guys rolled really high on your initiative.
Okay, so I am going to use my little arcane enhancement and instead just 5 and so they have 30 more if I use the arcane. Okay, so I'm gonna go. Right, excuse me, sorry. I'm gonna go over here, and I will take the dodge action.
You're going to see
And
the
a-
dodge action. Okay. That brings it to myself as my first creature. And avoiding you, May, these creatures fly another 60 feet towards the ground, and I will need all of you, including your familiars and companions, to roll a wisdom saving throw, and those of you within the aura will get advantage.
Ooh, okay. So a fox has +2 wisdom. Goddamn. Look at Foxy Boy go. Let's see. Roll
So-
for me first.
Yep. I will
Ooh,
go
that's
down the
a
list
huge
and get
number.
all of your saves.
Let me see. Ooh, that's not so great, but it still should be okay. Yes, and then I'll roll for Foxy Boy. Okay.
I will need Kiva and May to make a second save, because a second creature gets you within their radius.
Okay, so I need to make 2 wisdom saves, correct?
Two wisdom saves, please. Yep.
May is currently
Ooh. For reference, anyone making, unless I'm mistaken,
Is with advantage. Yeah.
yeah, all
JC,
wisdom
you-
saving throws are with advantage. Well, not all, but anything that's going to attempt to paralyze us is with advantage.
Yep.
JC,
I will
you
roll
don't-
for. I will roll for
Okay.
me.
Yeah, okay.
Is May within your radius, Kiva?
No.
I don't.
No.
Which ones?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay. So May succeeded on one but failed on the other. Kiva, what did you get on your wisdom saving throws? You have advantage on them.
17 for both.
Then you succeed. Gerd,
17 and an 18 for the
success. Ada,
15.
15. Yes, you also succeed. So you watch as these creatures fly down, let out this shriek. You are not frightened and you are not stunned, but you will take a smidge of damage from these creatures.
How rude.
Oh, that's fucking terrible. You guys take 1 point of psychic damage. And May will take 3. Oh wait, no, I need to roll a second one because Kiva got a second save.
Also,
Kiva, you
don't
get
forget
another-
that May has an familiar.
Yes, I'll let her do that because I have no idea what her statistics are. So
Yeah.
Kiva, you take 1 point from one of the shrieks and 2 points from the second shriek. May gets 5 points, so I'll mark that. 5 points.
Okay, 1 second.
I'm back.
And I'm guessing resistance doesn't half that to 0.
No, it does not. May, you have. I rolled for you. You rolled a 19 and a 2, which, even with your pluses, I don't think will make the DC.
Roll for what? Sorry.
It's these creatures have come down and have made a forced a wisdom save on you. And what is your plus to save wisdom saving throws?
Wisdom saving throws is +5.
+5. Yeah, you fail. You succeed one but fail the other. So you take in total 5 points of psychic damage, and you are currently frightened of
Of the little creature.
of the little creature that has landed here.
Okay.
That is their turn.
You just clicked right on top of Ada. That's correct?
I know what he was talking about.
Okay.
It's right here.
Oh. I was
There's a
about to
lot.
say, like, I'm being blind.
There's a
but-
lot of auras and a lot of creatures on the map. The next up is the Unknown Stalker. Okay. The closest person is May. May, can you make a Constitution saving throw, please?
Yes, I can.
As its eyes seem to lock onto you.
Natural 20.
Natural 20, okay, let's do a check.
Natural 20
Oh, 1 second, sorry, I have a... Let's get this creature up.
Ah!
Are my horses okay? Are they in a stable somewhere?
Yeah.
We're assuming they're stable off to one side of the combat. We found a stable at the far
Wait,
end
where's
of
it
the
gone?
village from the tasty human snacks.
Okay.
Said humanoid snacks.
Horses are okay. Sorry. Understood.
Sure.
1 second, sorry, I seem to have lost my creature.
There's one on the.
No, it's as in
left.
like on my
Oh, your
getting
stats.
yeah, getting the stats. It's right. Sorry, I've got a lot of creatures. I'm trying to recall.
Oh, I also automatically have advantage on all wisdom saving throws due to dual mind. Nice.
Okay. Yeah. Could you make a Constitution saving throw there, May?
I already did.
Oh,
JJ,
what-
Okay.
What'd you get?
A 22, a natural 20.
22. Okay. You succeed. So what you see, these eyes, they glow with almost the light of the dawn, the most beautiful sunset, the warm radiance of Mount Celestia, this pure, unbelievably luscious, warm, caring, caressing, perfect moment of that sunbathing upon the beach or lying in the grass and hearing the wind rustle through it as the breeze takes away the edge of the sun. It is gorgeous, and you feel yourself just longing for it for a moment before you blink, and you feel like something inside you has been like you almost were leaning towards this creature before you shudder back. You take 11 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
You imagine that continuing to look at this creature might cause some difficulties. It flies down and comes in to engage you.
So melee with me?
It is indeed.
Okay.
That will end its turn, and that will bring it to Gerd.
Alright. I will, oh, that's my friend. I will step out the door, and I will say, let my sword light a flame and enlighten me, and as I say enlighten, it will burst a flame.
Your long sword blooms into a large glow, so you've also got an aura around you.
Yeah, it's 40 feet bright light and more dim light, so just the bright light, right?
Yeah, just the bright light. 40 feet,
so
let's
more-
face it, you're pretty much illuminating half the lower half of the battlefield, so...
Boom.
Yeah.
Alright, and then I will see this dude that's about to flank all of my buddios that are heading to the other side and not paying attention to their backs. And I'll go, you guys take care of that side. I'll fuck this dude up. Don't worry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll smackaroonies.
Okay, it is about 30 feet in the air.
Oh shit, I thought that one landed too.
None of them have landed.
I heard you mention landed multiple
I?
times, but that might be on the other side or
That
some shit.
might be my mistake. They don't have the speed to land.
Oh, then can I instead move with my companions then?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, then I'll go, I've already spent 1, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll prepare an attack in case anything comes near enough.
Okay then. That will bring us back to the top with May.
Okay, can I, like with a bonus action or passively, discern whether this big creature is intelligent?
That's a good question. Let me check. What is the? It has. How would you do that? Describe to me how you would do. How you would go about doing that?
Okay. By observing it, and the movement of like the things around it, and see if maybe it's done this tactically or if it's just going after the first thing it sees, considering that it attacks me first.
To get that level of a read, that would be an action to do. If you were just trying to get like a, why is it coming to me, then that would be a bonus action.
Okay, well, I'll try it anyway. I'm going to, with my dragon mark ability, I can cast Animal Friendship on monstrosities.
Mm-hmm.
Can I cast Animal Friendship?
Are there any prerequisites or anything like that? Do I make a save?
You make a DC 16 Wisdom save, but if the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher, it fails.
As you reach out to try and grab hold of this creature's mind, you get this almost psychic backlash, and it is too intelligent, I'm afraid.
But I don't want to know. Then can I flurry of blows?
You need to make the attack action
What?
to do that. It's kind of like two-weapon fighting. You need to attack, and then you can use your offhand to make your other weapon.
Okay. I'll bonus action cry.
You can bonus action use a key point to take the dodge action.
But I shouldn't waste my key points.
That's not wasting.
I don't know how to play monks. Oh my god. Then I'll just spend the key point to dodge.
Okay.
You'll learn.
So as you reach out and try and grab onto this creature's mind, you actually manage to slap a hand on it, and this chill, like, it doesn't even burn your hands. It's an instant numbing, and as you pull your hand away with the sting of this psychic backlash into your palm, it's almost like the skin has become raw and inflamed just in that brief contact, and this creature's eyes just turn and continue to look at you with something akin to ravenous hunger combined with endless torture. Do you wish to move?
No.
Okay. Please say who goes next.
Next is, I don't know, because I got a phone call.
It's Kiva.
It's Kiva next.
Okay, I'm going to sort of again move this way to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm encompassing everyone. Once again, Mologast will move with me.
Okay.
And I am then, now that I'm here, I am going to cast, at the very large one, I am going to cast Guiding Bolt.
Okay. Are you averting your gaze from the creature?
Oh, I hate creatures like this.
Decisions I am going to regret, but no.
Okay. You look up and this creature's eyes seem to lock onto you, and you feel something begin to tickle at your senses. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Okay, Guiding Bolt at 2nd level.
Okay.
And I mechanically double check that. Oh, okay, it's going to.
That's
So I'm going to need to roll an extra d6.
You need to roll to hit first.
You pick. Excellent. Should do that automatically. It did not, in fact, do that. In fact, I rolled a natural 1.
Shit.
So as your hand streaks up, you look into his eyes, and this foreign tingling seems to unsettle you, and your hand trembles in that moment, and in that trembling moment it just seems to scathe across and disappear into the night sky before and this loud almost firework display of gold and silver hue, and in the sky above, in that moment of burst of light, you see this immense black cloud. And do you have dark vision?
No, I do not.
Okay, then nobody would see it because nobody's close enough. Please, is that your turn? If so, please who go next?
Who goes next? It is, I believe, the indomitable Ada.
Okay. So, how high up is this guy?
The small creatures are 30 feet. The big creatures about 55.
Okay.
I think that's how high she said she was.
And the big creature, like, I can see relatively clearly because of the superior dark vision, correct?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Also, the maid's torchlight is giving it an outline. This thing looks horrifying. I must repeat, it is a monstrosity of disastrous complications.
Okay. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is... How tall is the well?
The well is only about... It's only about 5 feet, because you might be able to reach in and get the... It's more of a water fountain rather than a water well, I suppose.
Okay.
The roof of the building is about 35 feet up. Oh, about 30 feet. So with a bit of a, I would, if you wanted to misty step or something like that onto the rooftop, you could do so quite easily.
No. I mean, I could do that, but... I have to go around all these people. Okay. So, we're going to run around all these people to the big one.
Big one is still up in the sky.
Yep, 25 feet, you said.
Yep.
I'm gonna misty step straight into the sky above it.
Okay. You misty step up the sky above it.
And gonna attack it as I'm falling.
Okay.
With my action.
Okay then, go ahead. Make your 2 attacks.
I'm actually only gonna make 1 attack. And I'm going to use Featherfall to reduce my reaction to Feather.
Are you a blade singer? No.
Yeah.
6th level, you get extra attack.
Yeah, I know. That's my reaction. Reaction is Featherfall.
Yeah, I thought you said you only get 1 attack.
No, but I'm using it for something else.
Oh, okay, getcha.
I'm using 1 of the attack for a rapier.
Yep.
Which misses. And then I'm going to use my 2nd attack to cast a cantrip, which will be a dancing lights right in this thing's face.
Okay.
So everyone else can see it.
Interesting, okay. So you leap up and as you come running around that, you disappear, come up, and as you slash down, you expect this creature to have much more substance than it was, but you slash at the plume behind it, this necrotic shroud, this dark aura that it is emanating, and you miss. And then as you fall past it, you put out the cantrip dancing lights, but as you fall past it, the eyes seem to reach out, and a tingling sensation comes across you.
Yeah. If I get that tingling sensation before I cast the dancing lights, and I know it's coming from the eyes, I want to put the lights right in front of the eyes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, you do so.
Okay. And that is everything. Movement, action, bonus action, reaction. I am at your mercy. Please don't kill me.
Okay. So this one here, that's what I have here. How far, who is the closest individual to this?
Me.
And how close are you?
50 feet.
50 feet. It will fly right up to you then.
It gets smacked right in the face as it lands. It tries that.
It does, but
With a nat 20, bitch!
Nat 20, okay.
So that's 2d8 plus 4d6, right?
So I'm going to trial something with
Okay.
with this. It's something I've been considering playing around with. So you maximize your dice, and then you roll a normal one. So you would
Okay, so I get 8
8, 6, 6.
plus. Yes, so that's 12. That's 20, and then I actually roll a d8 and 2d6.
2d6, correct.
Okay.
Oh, so you're trying something new for now, 20?
I'm trying it out. I want to see how this
Yeah.
works.
Ooh, I rolled 2 5s for the 6. This is gonna hurt. Where is my d8? This is the d8. Yeah. And I rolled a 1 on the d8.
Okay, so what is that total?
That's 11. So that's 31.
31.
Plus 5
So
is
36.
36.
36. Okay, it will get its attack off. Can you move the creature up to you as I just
Yeah,
quickly
I will.
check what its ability is again? This one. I did not get that back. Target. Okay. Roll to hit. Rolling to hit you. That is a 2, so its first attack misses, and its second attack is an 8, so it really didn't do well.
Ah, Tempest protects me!
Mm. That is that creature's turn. The other creature, it's got a choice here, it's got quite a lot of choices. It's probably going to go for you, Kiva. So if you want to move the creature up to you. First strike against you, Kiva, is another 8. And a 3. Wow, these things are rolling terribly. So as this monstrosity, this monstrous creature rolls up, its jaw unhinges and it tries to snap around your shield arm, but your shield is just too large, and with its glowing, with the energy coming from the spell, its teeth seem to scrape and singe, and it hisses and lets go, and just looks at you warily. These skeletal bone protrusions of wings set into grey skin, these horrible dark recessed eyes with red sparks glowing. That will end their turn, bringing it to the next creature. Next creature. It will move to there, so it's still within range of you, May. And I need May, Ida, Kiva, Mull, I can't remember the name of your companion, Jasmine.
My companion's in the house still.
Okay, I thought it was out. How far away are you from this creature, Robin?
Let me see. That's 30 feet, 25 in a straight line, plus its height, and there's a building in between.
Okay, I need everybody then to make a Constitution saving throw, and May, Vi, and Kiva, you have disadvantage on the save.
8.
Is that a
Oh,
Constitution saving throw?
It is a Constitution saving throw. I'm just. Can you remind me what your spell gives advantage against?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay. Unfortunately, not going to happen then.
Nope. So I'm at disadvantage for definite.
Everyone who had the tingling has disadvantage.
Everyone but me?
Everyone but Gerd.
I rolled an 18 on the dice plus the 6, so.
Okay.
Kiva rolled a 6.
2.
Okay.
Also, have I taken damage?
You
I haven't
took,
taken damage yet.
You took a little bit, yes. You took
Wasted a key point on
you took
dog.
1 point of psychic damage, and then you took 2 points of psychic damage, resistance to 1. So you've taken 2 points of psychic.
I'm just taking a normal. Are all Constitution saves currently at a disadvantage?
Just for this creature's thing. So don't worry.
How
It's not,
much
Oh,
damage do we take, Sarah?
So that's normal. So 19. So aura of purity stays up.
You don't know how much damage you're taking yet, but most likely yes. Okay, so I'm...
No, from the two reduced.
Oh,
to
okay,
one.
right. Okay, so May, you got an 8, fail. Kiva, what did you get for your con save?
6, definitely
Fail.
a fail.
Gerd,
24.
success. Ada,
15.
success. Okay, so those that failed, you feel something twist in your body, as if something inside just finds it incapable of willing itself to either move or any. It's as if your mind has suddenly been taken elsewhere, detached from your body. You can feel your body, you can feel the pain of it, but it's so distant compared to this glorious feeling radiating across and through your forms. Those who failed, you take 17 points of psychic damage. Kiva halved that to 8. Gerd's, yours is also 8. And everyone who failed is stunned.
Oh my god.
My job to do stunning.
Well, get
Damn.
to it!
I can't now!
So, wait. You listed 3 damage numbers.
So, you, Vi, who failed, takes 17 points of psychic damage.
Wait,
And are
did I
stunned.
fail or you told me I succeeded?
Oh, you
no,
succeeded.
sorry.
Sorry, you succeeded.
Okay.
Ooh,
Sorry,
yes,
to
you
correct
understand.
myself, the advantage on saving throws is an advantage on saving throws against effects that cause any of the following conditions: blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, paralyzed, or poisoned or stunned.
Okay, so everyone who failed can re-roll.
I apologize, that was my bad.
That's quite right. New characters, new stuff.
All getting used to it.
So, Kiva, you need to make a new roll. What is your new roll?
1 second. I'm going to roll twice because I took damage. So, first roll is my resistance roll. Second roll is my...
Spell save,
So
yep.
first roll, I rolled a 15.
15 succeeds.
And my second roll is for the mage ability, and that's dropped.
Okay, so it worked out well. May, roll another. Roll again. You have advantage.
I just rolled. I got a 16.
16. Okay. So everybody takes 8 points of psychic damage. Kiva, that is half for you because you succeeded to 4. And all of you continue to feel this tingling. And Kiva, May, and Gerd, you can almost hear a voice inside this psychic nonsense that is being forced into your body, into your mind, into your soul. That will end its turn.
Ooh, my god.
Bring it to you, Gerd.
Alright, I'm going to laugh at this dude that just missed me completely as I yelled out Tempest protects me, and I'm going to retaliate with a natural 1, so I'm pretty sure I just swing and hit like some of the rice paddies.
Yeah, you slice across the rice field, and a lot of the fronds, wilt and suddenly, instantly become popcorn. That's not how rice works, but fuck it.
And that's 11 plus, what's the plus? 8, so 19.
That hits.
Right, so after I hit the rice paddy, I go, shit! I just reverse time motion it instead of a proper swing, and on the reverse back I just slash him right across the face. As I go for, let's see, the D8 is an 8, that's good. The 2D6 is a 6 and a 4, so that's 18 plus 5 is 23? Yeah, 23.
23. Okay.
Okay.
The creature is now looking hurt. It was looking bloody. It was looking hurt before. It's now looking bloody.
Alright. And then I'll yell out, "Are you guys okay over there? I'm doing okay!" And then as I say that, my fox always also runs out real quick and bites him in the leg.
Okay.
That's not... No, he tries to bite him in the leg, but he just face plants right in front of it with a natural 3 and he slaps the dirt.
Nice try, but not quite. If that's the end of your turns, who's next?
Yeah, that's the end of my turn. Back to the top with me.
Oh boy, I'm going to take a risk and cast Speak with Animals on this monstrosity, which I can do because of my dragon mark.
Okay. What do you say to this creature?
Why are you fighting us? What are you trying to say to us?
It responds. What would it say here in this moment? In a voice rubbed raw by sandpaper, as if the screams of torture have blistered their vocal cords to the point that the act of making sound in itself has become a new form of torment. Rasps into your mind. Have you forgotten so soon?
Unfortunately, I can't understand you when you speak like that.
We are you. It says, have you forgotten so easily? We are you. Do you wish to continue speaking as more of your action? Or do you wish to do something with the bonus action?
Why are you here? Why are you fighting with us?
It cocks its head and those glowing eyes turn round once more, and you feel the tingling begin to grow inside you. What would it say? It would say... Why... What did you say? Why are you fighting us?
Yeah. Why is it here?
Why is it here? We serve with loyalty! We serve with loyalty. And that is all it says.
Okay, and I don't have a bonus action or anything yet left.
No. You can
Okay.
move.
I will step away from it.
Okay. It will take an attack of opportunity against you.
I'll just fly up 45 feet.
Okie dokie. And let me get its thing. Okay. We'll do that one. Seed. Oh, wrong thing. Ah! Stop doing that. Too many things to open. That is a miss with a 5.
Okay.
It snatches out towards you, but misses. So you've flown how high up?
45 feet.
Okay.
So
So
I'm
you're 70 feet up now.
65 feet up in the air.
You flew 25 feet
I
before.
flew 20 feet before.
Okay. 65.
25 feet up the window, so 65 feet up.
Okay. So who goes next?
Next is Kiva.
Kiva, you are aware that it was saying something, this incredibly distant level of speech, through the fog and through the clouds and through the miasma of its own necroticism, its own dark aura. You can faintly tell that it was saying something, you don't know what it said.
Mm-hmm. Yay. Okay. I. So, sorry, it's my turn, isn't it? I'm
Yes, it
really
is.
sorry, my brain. Okay, cool. I'm gonna recast Aura of Purity. Same second verse, same as the first.
Okay.
Because yeah, we need that.
Alright.
Against these guys. So.
Movement
Being
bonus
I
action?
have.
Movement or bonus action?
It is movement and then bonus action. I'm going to send Mole back into the house.
Okay. Like I say, if that's the end of your turn, say who's next.
Ada is next.
Okay.
My aura-
How high
oh,
up is everything?
Oh, whoops.
Still-
It is still 25 feet in the air.
Okay.
The dancing lights as a really good idea. You get the impression it's not so much its sight, but just it's got some aura, and that is what's the eyes are more just the representation of that aura.
Okay. Did the other two things come down at all, or no?
Yeah, they're they're on the ground.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm gonna run over here and smack this thing twice.
Yep.
Well, sort of. I'm gonna ultimately smack it twice, but one of them is gonna be special.
Okay.
So, don't move now. Especially if that hits. Alright, so I'm casting Booming Blade for my first attack.
So it's
And
an
that's my second.
action to cast Booming Blade, and you
Yes,
make
it is, but it is also a cantrip, which means I can replace one of my attacks for the attack action with it.
Ooh, very well done.
So I
I
can
like
do.
the way
both.
you're doing that.
Normally, you're correct. Blade Singer is the one thing in the game that breaks that rule.
Fair enough. Go
It's
ahead then.
cool.
I rolled a 25 to hit for the Booming Blade attack and a 26 with the normal one.
Let's go.
25 and a what? Sorry.
25 and 26.
Both hits.
25. Okay, so 10, 21. 21 piercing damage, 2
It is
thunder damage.
so it is resistant to non-magical attacks. Is
Okay,
your
so
weapon
we'll cut that in
magical?
half, so it's 10 damage and 2 thunder damage.
10 and 2. Okay, thank
And
you.
if it moves, it's going to take more damage.
Yep, 10 and 2.
Don't move now. And I only move 15 feet, so
That's 12.
I am going to do that. Do that. That's 10, so that's... And I'm gonna run over here to help. Here, over here.
Okay. As you leave its area, it will take a bite at you.
No, it doesn't, because I have the mobile feet.
Then it will not. Indeed. Okay, so you come up, slash once, and you feel the crackle of the booming energy strike it, and a visible aura seems to surround it. It looks around a little bit unsure, and as you go to dart away, the second strike comes down and hits it with the back end of the rapier. Unfortunately, not doing quite as much damage as you were hoping, but still effective.
Now I'm over here.
Alrighty. Again, if that is the end of your turn.
That is the end of my turn.
Okay, that brings it to these creatures.
Yeah, never mind. It was a mistake on my part. That's fine.
Right, Kiva, how far away are you from this creature over here?
Which creature? Sorry, can you ping that again, please?
This creature.
20 feet.
20 feet.
Oh,
okay.
there's one right in my face. There is one right in my face.
Yes, so, that means that, Gerd, Ada, Kiva, I need you to make 2, wisdom saving throws. You have advantage on them both.
Whoa, okay.
Mhm.
Fail. Success.
Ooh, that's 15 on the first one, and that's a natural one, so that's a 15. Okay, that's a 6, and my dice! No, stay with me. Alright, I got a 15 and an 18.
24 and 13.
Okay.
16 and 8.
Okay, so the 8 fails, the 16 succeeds. Kiva,
Would technically the first one I rolled, if that matters. Which one I'm afraid of?
yeah,
or
it would because it'll affect which damage. So was the 16 first, or was the 8 first?
The 8 was first.
Okay, so that's 10 points of psychic damage, followed by 3 points of psychic damage. And you are frightened of the one you are standing next to, as it turns and just into your face, this horrible sucking scream. Kiva, what did you get in yours?
Why do I have to be
I
here?
got a 24 on the first one and a 13 on the second.
Okay, so that is both of them succeed. So you take 5 and 3, which then get halved to 2 and 1. And that will be 2 con saves for your spell.
Yep. Okay, so...
Gerd, what did you get on yours?
being whittled down.
I got a 14 and an 18
Both,
in that order.
both succeed, so that will be 5 and 3.
5 and 3, so 8.
8 total, yep.
That's,
Can you make 2 con saves, please, for me, Kiva?
I'm just pulling... I'm just doing that.
Excellent.
That should not be an advantage, please disregard.
It's quite right.
Just
Just take the left hand one then. If it's set like that.
Oh no, that's a 9.
Unfortunately,
Oh, God, the aura flickers
the
out
aura
again.
flickers once more. That is their turn. It will then turn to the stalker, and it is going to ignore you, May, and is going to hit your 3 companions. Kiva, you will be first, and then Gerd and Vi will be second. As it passes by, though, it moves with such opaqueness, translucency, and its unnatural body movements mean that you do not get attacks of opportunity against it.
ooh.
So, Kiva, the first one against you. That is a...
Question, what's my piety, by the way?
Everyone started at 8.
Oh, okay, cool.
So that's a miss with a 4 on the die. I believe this is you, Gerd, correct?
Hold on, I was doing... yeah, I'm this one, yeah. to the
And
right.
then this is Ada.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
So that will be a 23 to hit you.
Me?
Yes.
Shield.
Okay. And then the final one against Ada is a 21 to hit you, Ada.
JC! Oh
Yes.
crap, wait, can I not use... Is it a reaction? Fuck. I think it's a reaction. This,
It hits.
Okay.
Yeah, it is the reaction. I just used my reaction. Shit! I was gonna use my my Sentinel ability, my Mark of the Sentinel,
Hmm.
to swap us out after I had cast shield, but then I
Yeah,
realized
would have been great.
Yeah.
Would have been great. Unfortunately, 3d6. You take 17 points. Vi.
Ow!
Yeah, that rolled pretty well. 3d6 plus 5. So as this creature turns and looks up at you, May, you feel this tingling sensation move away from you, and then before you can even react, Kiva, the shield instinctually comes up. Gerd, you hear the clang, and just out of reflex you cast shield just in time to look in front of you as a claw seems to rake through you into Ada and pull something out the back of her in this long elongated blue-black strand before taking and snapping something off of it like silly putty yanked apart by the hands of an angry toddler.
Yikes.
The
Where is it
creature
now?
will then, I'll just do its movement, so it goes 20, it goes 25, 30, actually hold on, it would go, how do we do this? It would
But
go,
Jesse, that's a building. You can't.
yeah, that's why I'm moving it. 25 down, 30 moving past, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. And then it would go, it will arc and then go 20 feet up into the sky. It has a big fly speed, this creature.
25 feet up in the sky.
20 feet in the sky, yes. That will end its turns, turning it to Gerd.
Alright. What the hell? This big. Oh my god.
Actually, hold
Slash
on.
at the other dude.
1 second, I need to say something.
Oh.
Ada, as you get slashed, you hear a voice. Again, this blistered and blemished vocal cords scraping across one another through caustic plague mucus as it seems to hiss, whisper and scream into your mind. We are the madness that lurks within you all.
They can talk without animal friendship?
It would seem so.
I'm listing all my shit today.
You did provoke it, and that is why it is now speaking, so it wouldn't have done that otherwise. Gerd, go ahead and take your turn.
Alright, so this one dude is looking bloody, right?
Yes.
Right, I'm gonna see if I cannot take his head off real quick.
Mm-hmm.
That's dirty 20
That will hit.
and 21.
21,
Both
both
hits.
will hit.
Let's see. Dice, do me justice. Give me some good numbers. Okay, so that's 12 plus 3 is 15 is 20 on the first one.
20 in the first
And-
one, it will destroy it. That'll be enough to kill
Oh
it.
yeah. Nice. And am I gonna do?
That's the one I was afraid of, right?
Yes, it is.
Alright, am I gonna do anything else? Am I gonna do anything else?
No, hold on, was it an... Which one did you fail again? It was 8 then the 16, or was it 16 then 8?
Correct. 8 was the first roll.
8 was the first one, okay. It is then this one that you're afraid of. The way I do it is I go from top down,
Okay.
just for future reference.
Alright, yeah, then I'll yell out, guys, we should really regroup here. I can't fly like y'all, so come on. And then I'll move 5, 10, 15, 20, and I can't really stand on the edge of the wall, because that's just gonna lead to bad things. So I'm gonna stay there, and that will be the end of my turn.
You do have
so
a
we
second
go-
attack, and you did hit.
Oh
so
yeah. Oh,
roll your
okay,
damage.
I'll roll damage dice, these ones. So that's 8 plus 1, 9 plus 5, 14.
14 points.
Yeah.
Once again, the first slash, as the jaw opens up to emit another scream, you slash into it, the jaw unhinges, the head severs open at the jaw, and the base of the skull is revealed, and it flops to the ground, and seems to twitch and dance there before coming to stillness and beginning to evaporate into smoke. The next creature, you run up and just plunge the sword straight through the creature, pulling it back out after you feel the flame up through the blade. It seems to jerk and turn and look at you.
Well, hey, gorgeous.
Uh,
Next up is back to the top. To me.
Okay, so I'm going to move.
you're 65 feet up.
Yes, but I can move diagonally down, right? And it's only 40 feet up in the air. Well, it's 40 feet up in the air right now, so it's only 25 feet down. So I'm gonna move over.
Yeah, this one is 20 feet in the air. This one is on the ground.
So it was 20 feet up because it was level and melee with me, and then it went up 20 more feet, so it's 40 feet in the air right now.
No, it moved down so it could strike at everybody as it went past. It went into
Well,
melee
it
with
went
them,
down.
and then came back up. So it's 20 feet in the air.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Okay, so I will move towards it, like
Diagonally, yeah.
diagonally, so I should be able to get to it. And I'm gonna try to land on its head.
Okay.
And then
Bold.
for my attack, I'm going to jump, and I'm gonna try to like dig my heels into its eyes.
Nice, okay. You like slam the like heel kick into the back of the skull. I like it. Go ahead and make. You know what? For thematic reasons, because that is cool as shit, you get advantage on the first roll because it was not expecting that.
Yay! And while I do it, I'm just gonna yell, "Land so my brother can hit you!" I got 21.
A 24 and 21 will hit.
Okay, can you roll me a DC 16 Constitution saving throw for Stunning Strike?
Okay.
Please.
That is a 17 on the die, I'm afraid.
Alright, let me roll my damage for that first attack first. Wait, that is not my damage. Oh my god, I'm so unprepared, sorry.
That's quite alright. New characters, first combat, it happens. We know,
Also,
we know.
just got home from school. Okay, where is
Jasmine,
it?
you're getting major cool points tonight. I love it.
What?
You're doing good as a monk.
So that's 9 points of bludgeoning damage. And then I'm just gonna like, you know how like when you're impatient you like rotate on your heels? I'm gonna do that for my second attack and just continue to drive my feet into its eyes. That's a 17 on the die.
17 on the die, that will then hit.
Okay, stunning strike again, please.
Another stunning strike, okay. Burn through them key points.
Yeah.
Fall.
Come on.
Because it is stunned, it does not mean it will fall.
That's okay, it'll still be stunned.
Yes!
That is
Yes!
probably going to fail. What is your DC?
16.
16?
Yeah.
Saving throws. It is stunned.
Sweet, okay, you take, max damage, 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
10 points. Okay then, 10 points. So it cannot take actions or reactions, and it cannot move, correct?
Oh, let me double check.
I'm looking at the condition for you right now. It's can't move and can't speak. Automatically fails strength and dex save throws. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage.
Okay.
Incapacitated.
So it can't move and can't speak, so it can still...
Can't take actions or reactions.
There we go, that was it. Okay then. Well, if that's the end of your turn.
Yeah, that'll be the end of my turn.
JC, as a monk, she can use her bonus action to make one attack.
I'm
Right.
aware.
Okay. Oh, then I'll do that. Thanks, Robin. What is that called?
It's just
It's part of your
unarmed
martial
strike.
attack.
Unarmed strike.
Okay.
You spend a key point to get an extra unarmed strike when you flurry.
Okay. Alright. And I can also heal with my flurry blows, but I don't want to. So that's another 17 on the die. I'm rolling
You
out.
have advantage, see if you get a natural 20.
Ooh, no.
Come on.
That is 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
10 points. And this is magical bludgeoning?
Yeah,
Okay.
because of my
Fist
fist.
are magic.
Your magical fists. Magic! So you fly around and like drop down almost like a cliff diver would, heels together straight into the back of its skull. You hear the jaw open, and in that moment it seems to be unaffected, and then as the jaw snaps back up and shuts, its head moves up just in time for that second half's turn, and then kick down again, and you hear something crunch in the back of its skull, and its eyes, one of them opens and the other one does not, and it seems to be stunned. Very well done.
Thanks.
You do need to say who goes next.
Next is Kiva.
Okay. Great. Okay, I'm just gonna cast Spirit. Okay, how's everyone looking actually? Is anyone looking badly hurt?
Yes.
I have like
okay,
a bleeding lip. I have a little bit of blood on my lip.
I'm a little over half.
Okay.
Your wizard
I-
looks the worst.
Ida is clutching her stomach, trying to keep her guts from spilling out.
Oh shit.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just having to do some rapid.
Rapid mathematics.
Yeah, I'm having to do a bunch of movement-based stuff because I'm trying to figure stuff out. Sorry, this is going to take a couple of seconds, and I do apologize.
Like I say,
that.
it is new characters. We're all getting used to them. We're all getting accustomed to how they work. Unusual class abilities
Please be
and
the right
things.
page. Please be the right page. Okay. Okay. What's the best thing to do with
I'll be right back. Someone's here.
Come on, load, you damn bugger. Thank you. Awesome. Oh, okay. So, Mole is going to 2, 3 arrive there and sort of just this dog just sort of bursts out. This golden retriever just bursts out of the building and gently just runs up, headbutts you, and I cast Cure Wounds at 3rd level.
Is
Oh.
just 1 second on that. Jasmine, are you there?
Yes, I'm back.
Can companions cast magic through them, or is that a later ability?
Let me get the book.
Because
Bond is
familiars
plus 12, by the way.
can do this, but I don't know if companions
So I am
can.
pretty sure that you would have to take a boon to get that, or you'd have to take the feat. But I will
I have to take what, sorry?
There's a feat that you can take to do that.
Hello?
Oh, okay. In that case, no,
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you.
you.
Hey, what are you trying to do?
It doesn't matter. We'll check it afterwards.
Okay, that doesn't happen then. Please ignore the dog. Kiva will... Oh, I'm gonna regret doing this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm probably gonna provoke an attack of opportunity because I'm not disengaging.
Okay, attack of opportunity against you is a 19 on the die. That will be a hit.
Oh, shield. My AC is 25.
It rolled a 19 on the die for a total of... Let me double check. For a total
In that case, I'm not
of...
casting shield.
Yeah, I'm just checking. That would be a total of 26.
Yeah, I'm not casting shield.
Yeah, don't waste it. Okay, so that is... oh, what did I do? So this is the bite.
Okay.
So you take 7 points of piercing damage, followed by holy hell, 20 points of psychic damage, half to 10.
Okay.
As it bites you, you feel a connection suddenly extend into both your mind and your mind that shares your space recoils in horror.
We are you.
Okay. I guess it can be.
Oh, good. Not good. Not good. Not good. Oh, we'll deal with that later. L'Oreal, we need to find some stuff out, I think, don't we? Right. That's internal.
Yep.
Kiva arrives up. Paler, your servant is not yet done. Heal! Thump. Cure wounds.
Okay.
At 3rd level.
Yep.
So that is gonna be 3d8 plus... That's gonna be 3d8 plus 10.
Plus 10.
Yeah, boy, got
19.
them heals.
Damn.
You rolled
19.
shit, and you
Plus
still got
19,
good.
Plus 5 for wisdom, and then plus... and then...
Plus 2, plus 3, yeah, you're right. Well, damn.
Plus 10.
Yeah, I'm not used to these.
So that's
I'm not used to these either. I'm like, holy
I
hell.
rolled badly.
Yeah, unfortunately, but
Welcome
still,
to
19's good.
higher level combat. Okay, that patches me up real nicely.
So you see this creature snap into the back and tear something across the back of Kiva's shoulder, and again it's like there's this Gerd. You all see this time. This is the time you all see this. You see this blue essence kind of drag out the back of Kiva, and then suddenly it's as if a glob of it is snapped away and held within the creature's jaw before it too then slowly dissipates, and the creature seems to swallow and groan. And as Kiva runs towards you, there's a moment of, in the eye, something widens, then focuses, slaps a hand on you, and you get the heal. If that is the end of your turn, Kiva, I believe it is.
That is the end of my current turn. It is Ada.
Ada?
Have I just dropped?
No,
I'm
Oh, there we go.
I'm here. Sorry,
That's quite alright. I heard
I
it popping and snapping. I was like, uh oh.
despite having told people to leave me alone, I have no fucking privacy. Sorry.
Yeah, much right.
Alright, so this thing is way up in the sky, this thing's on the ground, but I'm afraid of it, so I can't actually move.
Yes. You can obviously make attacks. It'd be straight rolls because the source of your fear is within line of sight, but it is stunned, so the advantage disadvantage cancels one another out. So you could make a spell or make a cantrip attack against the unknown stalker.
Okay. I mean, this thing's way the fuck up in the sky, right?
It's 20 feet up.
I'm a solid surface, son of a bitch. You said it's only 20 feet up?
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna do the same shit that I did earlier.
Okay.
I'm going to poof up into the sky, stop myself from falling, and hit it twice as I'm coming down.
Okay. Do you wish to try and land on the back of it? As in, like,
It's
stay
back-
on land up there.
Is it back relatively vertical or horizontal?
Yeah, it's relatively horizontal this time.
Okay, we'll do that and we'll see if we need to...
Okay, so that would
myself.
be an acrobatics to obviously stabilize yourself, but you'll still get your 2 attacks regardless.
Okay. $14 on the acrobatics.
14.
Total.
You wobble a little bit and feel yourself begin to slide off. Unfortunately, not quite. Unless your ally would like to use their reaction to make an opportunity attack and grab you and stabilize you. Because you can do that.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
My.
That would be me.
Jasmine. I
Okay.
believe. May.
Right, sorry, I was reading the rules on commands of familiars. What's happening?
Do you wish to use your reaction to assist Vi?
What is she doing?
Do you wish to use your reaction to assist Vi?
I teleported up over the back of this thing, tried to land on it, and I'm starting to fall off of it.
Oh, sure, I can reach out a hand too.
Okay,
Okay.
make an attack towards Vi.
Okay. That's an attack 12.
A 12. Is that... What is your armor class, Vi?
16.
16. Unfortunately, just the momentum of the teleportation you weren't expecting, and as you reach your hand back, your fingertips scrabble on the front of the armor, and with her movements of trying to get the slashes in, unsure of this combination at the moment, it just doesn't
I'm
quite
stupid.
reach out.
I have advantage on acrobatics. I'm stupid. The blade song gives me advantage on acrobatics checks.
Ah, okay. What'd you get?
Better.
23.
Then I would say it all works out well. You are currently balancing on the back of this creature. Make your attacks.
Okay, the first one I already rolled. It's a 14. I don't
14
like rerolling
misses.
it. Okay, and then the second strike, which will be empowered.
Yep.
23.
23 hits.
Ooh. And 9 piercing, which is probably cut in half to 4.
Correct.
6 thunder.
That'd be 10 total,
And
yep.
if they move, they're gonna take even more damage.
Indeed, okay. So you fly, slash, strike, and wobble, and the two of you are currently balancing on the back of this creature that is only in its right meant to be big enough for one, but it's a good thing one of you is floating and flying. It is now their turns.
The small ones first.
Yeah, small ones first. You just roll
Well,
some.
the small one.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, so Gourd, you're right there
Aye.
next to this creature. It is going
Yeah.
to turn and make us. Actually, it's 20 feet. How far is Vi from the creature?
Let's see. She is 30 feet and 20 feet up, so 50 total.
It will
Well-
fly up to Vi.
Right,
You will
then
get an
I
attack of
will
opportunity.
smack it in the back. Right. That is 17 to hit.
17 hits.
And as I slash out, I will say, "Tempest, guide my blade to protect my friends."
Is
My
that a
enemies.
bonus action to activate?
No, I can just do it on a hit.
Fair enough.
I can do it up to the amount of my intelligence modifier, and it gives me an extra D6 if I am correct. Let me see. Yeah, D6. So I got 5, that's 10, plus 6, that's 16, plus 5, that's 21, plus 5, that's 26.
26. For one slash, holy hell.
Yes! You gave me my perfect dream setup for now.
It is still going,
Exactly
but
what
it
I was
definitely looks hurt. Vi, it comes up, and as it swoops towards you, you feel as if something in your chest tightens, and you all see this blue strand leach out towards the creature and enhance its speed as it flies in to strike at your wizardly friend. That is a 19 or a 19 on the. That's a 26 total.
Shit.
That's hitting.
That's
I
hitting.
cannot stop that.
Yep.
Even I can't stop that.
So you take 8 points of piercing damage
Okay.
as it bites you, and then
Yikes.
the psychic damage is 12. So you take 12 points of psychic damage.
Whew. Keep up those
Yikes.
rolls like that.
As it bites you, you hear in your mind free in your deepest moment. That is what you hear as this tether connects briefly. Then it will be the stunned creature's turn, so it can't do anything, and its speech is halting, isn't it?
Faulted, yeah.
Important, okay. So this is what you hear, and you guys are saying you can't understand my voice?
I could kind of make out some words.
Mm.
I'm doing my best.
Forgotten so easily. We are you.
Yeah, it's a little boy.
We are the madness that lurks within you all, begging to be free in your deepest moment,
Don't cry.
in your deepest animal mind.
Cat,
We are what you hide from in your beds every night. We are what you sedate into silence and paralysis when you go to the nocturnal haven where we cannot tread. We are the darkness that consumes the night. We are the light that blinds the sight. We are the Buran.
That sounds important.
Okay. So I do have one question about the fear, since my turn is
He can only speak falteringly because he's stunned.
You do make a save at the end of your turn.
Okay, wisdom save, correct?
Yes.
At advantage or disadvantage?
Straight roll.
Ooh.
You are still afraid. You are correct, but it is speaking directly into your minds. So its body is stunned, but its mind is still active. Obviously that will thus end the creature's turn, because it can do nothing else. And bring it on to Gerd.
Right, so that creature is flying 20 feet in the air as well right now.
Yeah, they're all 20 feet up.
These bastards. There is no way I can jump 20 feet, is there? No, there isn't.
Well, you are...
Actually, no. Yeah,
6
I
feet
am.
tall.
Yeah, I'm over 6 feet, and I have a +5 because I have max strength. So that's
Okay.
3 plus 5 is 8 plus 6 is 18 plus the length of a sword. Yeah, I could reach.
I'd say so, yeah.
All right, then I'm gonna run and jump. And can I immediately dump in my action surge to bump in 4 attacks instead of 2, or?
When you make a high jump, you leap into the air a number of feet equal to 3 plus your...
Yeah.
Oh, you already did it, yes, strength modifier.
Yeah, I have it open. I was looking at it. I miscalculated before though.
Jump. When you make... Yeah, so you've moved 10 feet and then you could jump.
Yeah, I moved
difficulty-
20, so I can definitely jump.
Yeah, you could move... yeah, so you could get that far. 3 plus your strength modifier, so that's 8 plus 6, 14. I will say it's going to be at straight rolls because you really are stretching your entire body to get the reach.
I can live with that. That's a compromise I'm willing to make. So I'm
Okay,
gonna make
so
4
4
attacks.
strikes.
Here goes number 1. That's 18 plus 8, 26.
Hits.
Number 2 is 12 plus 8, 30, 20.
Hits.
That's a natural 2.
Miss.
And 16 plus 8, 24.
24. Do you wish to use your DM inspiration to re-roll that?
Yes, actually yes. I've completely forgot for a second there. I'm going to.
Re-roll that too.
And that's
Ah, that sucks.
But since I won last time, I do have another. So fuck this. I'm going to re-roll it again.
You can only
another one.
You can only
I give up anyway.
You can only re-roll one. You can only re-roll once. You have to accept the new roll.
Alright.
But that's 3
so
hits, so there's going to be some
3
damage.
hits, and again for the last one, I will this time say, Tempest, help me take down this big old bird that's terrorizing my friends.
3d8 plus.
That's
3d8 plus 60,
is-
76 plus 15. That's going to be brutal.
Hold on. That's 3 plus 6 is 9 plus 3 is 9 plus 3 is 12 plus 5 is 17 for the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And then 6 plus 4 is 10 plus 2 is 12 plus 5 is again
17? Yeah, plus
Yeah,
17, yeah.
again 17. And then for the last one, it is 5 plus 2 is 6 plus 8 is the quick math 14 plus 5 is 19 plus 5 is 24 on the last one.
Whoa. So in this unbelievable slash, cleave, hack and draw, you've taken it from not looking injured to looking bloody.
As I start going downwards, I yell, "Now get your big ass down here, you shit!"
It cannot take its reaction to hit you because it is stunned.
Haha, come at me, bitch!
It is now May's turn. May,
Yes.
go ahead and take your turn. It is stunned until the end of your turn.
Before I take my turn, since it's my turn and I didn't want to interrupt anyone, I will take this opportunity to say that no, you cannot cast spells through your companion. They are not a familiar. They can't do anything that a familiar can do. All they can do is, if you have enough bond points with them, take their own actions on their initiative if JC says so. They don't even have to be part of the combat. But one thing to note about companions versus familiars is that they can die. They don't just go to a pocket realm, and you can't dismiss them or anything to protect them, so you need to be really careful where you place them in battle. Second, Tormented's not here, so this will be something that I have to relay to him. But having a companion as a familiar doesn't mean that it can take the attack action. And if it has any spells that you don't know or have slots for, you can't benefit from its spell casting.
Okay. Good to know, thank you for that. That's really useful
There
to have.
are boons and stuff that you can have once you get enough bond points. None of them let you cast spells through your companion. That's strictly a familiar thing. You can take feats that'll make your companion your familiar, but it takes 2 feats to do it.
Right, okay.
Um,
Good to know, thank you very much.
With that said, for my turn, this is going to sound really crazy. For my turn, I'm going to, after watching Vi fall and feeling kind of bad for her, I'm going to look at this beastie
She didn't fall. She didn't fall. You did stabilize her.
Okay, that's good. Alright. Now that this thing is looking bloody, I'm gonna like kind of walk to the end of its nose, and I'm gonna look into the eyes that I just had my feet in, and I'm gonna say, "May Shenoth have mercy on your soul as he guides you to the afterlife." And then I'm gonna like rock climber style grab onto its nostrils and like swing down and drive my feet into its teeth.
Nice. Nice. I like it.
This is gorgeous.
You have advantage from it being stunned.
Oh, that's 20! I don't even need to roll with advantage.
Let's go!
20, though. What does
Well,
that mean?
thing is though, if you roll double nat 20s,
I
it's
did.
double nat 20.
I did, yeah.
No way.
So that is full max damage. So that is all the die fully maxed.
Let me go ahead and just toss in the hands of harm there then.
Ah, go on then. Why not? You scamp. Yes, scamp. Ah, go on then.
So I will do. Oh, let me pull up my character sheet. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Okay.
That's a lot of damage.
So it's every dice is maximized on a double nat 20.
Hands of harm are 1d6? Question mark?
D8, I think, but
I'm
you
looking
should
for it. Hands of harm.
Same
Arts die plus wisdom modifiers with d6.
Oh, D6.
So does my wisdom modifier stuff get? Yeah, that does.
That all gets
So
added, yeah, but the dice are automatically filled.
My wisdom modifier doesn't get doubled though, does it?
No.
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 Okay. So that is 12 plus 5, so that's 17 just from Hands of Harm. And then a natural 20, so that's plus another 12. So 17 plus 12 is 29. Plus 4. So 29 plus 4 is 33 points of bludgeoning damage.
Describe the kill.
Oh. I wasn't expecting that. I'm going to
I think
kick
you
it in its
describe
teeth so hard that they break, and I slide slip into its mouth, and then I'm gonna crawl out of its mouth as it's falling to the ground. It's raised in the air.
Vi, can you make a dexterity saving throw as you go the 20 feet to the ground, please?
Sure. There you go. 15.
15, that's
Total.
a success, so you'll take half. 2d6. So that is, 5 points of bludgeoning damage as the fall. Or do you want to use your reaction for Featherfall?
Yeah, let's not take half of my remaining health and damage.
Fair enough then. So you Featherfall, you gently land to the ground, and I will say that is where the combat ends. As you drift down to the ground, the creature crumpling and smouldering, its eyes seem to shine bright, 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 and in a blinding flash the head of the creature explodes, and you just get this impression of an arctic wind blowing through all of your minds. May, your maximum hit points has been reduced by... How many times did you get the tingling? 3 times? 2 times?
I don't remember. I've tried to move out of its thing, but
I think it was twice for you. So your maximum hit points are reduced by 2. Kiva, yours is reduced by 3. May, yours is reduced by 2. And Gurd, yours is reduced by 1.
What about me?
Oh, I didn't get hit.
is this forever? We don't know.
You don't know. When you got the effect of the creature's eyes going out on all of you when you had to all make the con saves.
But I succeeded on the con save.
I know.
Oh my god.
So, what about me?
I believe you got the effect twice, did you not?
You should have told us. We should have been keeping track of that.
I was keeping track. I was keeping track of it myself, but I just wanted to double check because I believe it's 3 on Kiva, 2 on May, 1 on Gerd, and 2 on Ada.
I know once for sure.
I believe it was twice. If not, then we can always
That's
look
fine.
back at the stream later. But what time are we on? I think that's probably a really good point to take a break for a few minutes, and then we will return in the aftermath of this. So thank you to everybody who's been watching along. I hope you've been enjoying, and we shall see you in a moment. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, back.
Okay, I believe. we return after the battle of the unknown village. The fields around lie dormant and empty. The sad state of the village now brings back those memories, and you can understand with both the ferocity of these creatures and their ability how it can really feel to suddenly realise that so many people have died in a place where you have survived. And all around the fresh graves that you have dug, the buildings broken, bruised, and otherwise unkempt, there is a lot of stillness here. And a lot of an ice of chill. Though again, Lupercalia is not so far away, the events here impress upon you still that those tidings remain far away. And in the dead of night, in this deep chill, these creatures, whatever they were, monstrosities in the most truest of forms, even if they were still monstrosities, seeping away into wisps of blackness. And as the clouds overhead move, shift, and begin to go beyond the horizon, or perhaps drift into nothingness, you are left in a space, claw marks dug in deep furrows, wounds to be tended. And I turn it over to you.
As soon as she hits the ground, Ida is just going to fall backwards on her butt, clutching her stomach and her shoulder, being like, "Ow, that is."
Kiva will rush over and just go, "Let me look at you, let me check you over, please."
Well,
Do you wish to do a medicine check?
On, Ada.
Yeah.
Ada's gonna stare at you suspiciously for just a second.
This is one of the entities, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Get rid of that. Yeah, if you're going
I'm a
to examine,
healer
then feel free to make a medicine
Yeah,
check.
I'm actually going to examine her.
Okay.
Ida is going to she's gonna be very defensive at first. I'm fine. I'm fine. You don't have
You're
to.
not. Natural 1, but that's still a 9.
Natural 1. In this moment of I'm fine. Honestly, I'm fine. Just look at me. Let me poke finger in the eyeball.
Careful, Eva!
You may need to borrow
Sorry,
Misty. You may need to borrow Misty's eye patch.
You sure you're good, Ida?
Sorry. I'll have to do this the old-fashioned way. Cracks neck, reaches out, and
You just poked her in the face!
Huh?
Old-fashioned? You just poked her in the face, Kiva. What's more old-fashioned than that?
She apologized. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to poke you in the eye. I'm really sorry. Now,
Okay.
1 second. Kiva will just sort of reach out, gently touch you on the shoulder, and cast Cure Wounds at first level, which will generate a... Excuse me, while I...
1d8
Which will
plus
heal
8.
you for a total of... So the d8 is... So... 5 plus 3... 8, 12.
Okay. Admittedly, her visage doesn't have much color to it, but the color that's there partially there. And she relaxes a little bit. She's not holding on to her. It's quite so tensely.
I'm not gonna hurt you. It's not my creed.
Okay. Thank you.
How are you looking, guard?
Oh, I'm fine. I'll wipe my nose and a little bit of blood. I got a little bruise on my eye. That's about it. I'm perfectly fine. Don't waste any magic on me.
You totally sound it. And with that mass healing word to everyone.
I mean, I am fine. I'm at 73 HP. But that's nice, I guess.
You're casting it at third. And that's going to be plus 10, which is going to give everyone another 12 health.
Another 12 to everybody. So in this moment of, as the prayer is said, the murmuring words in semi-silence as you hear the words worshipped once more, the echoes of those words seem to take on an extra hum of the undertone, and you feel rejuvenized. But all of you are aware that there's just something that feels out of balance. As you stand up, it's that moment you have to take a stutter step as your equilibrium is slightly off kilter. Kiva, your co-pilot, they are perhaps the most evident in this level of imbalance. Their, for lack of a better word, their personality seems to have been shut down.
Kiva and Liriel are probably having whole conversations in Kiva's head, in Kiva Liriel's head. Like, there is probably a whole ask conversation going on between the two parts right now. Like, you're okay, you're okay.
Liriel responds,
Okay, you're safe.
Later.
We're
later,
safe.
Later. Not now. Later. And just keeps repeating that, and just that every time you try and reach out to her, it's just that later, not now, later. It's just like almost repetitive semi-plead, but it's also it's almost a self-soothing rocking motion.
Okay.
Is
Are you-
everyone else alright?
May? You good? I mean, you beat the shit out of that thing, so I assume you're good.
Thumbs up. Kiva's healing and stuff, I'll be like, lighting like candles around the body and doing like a little ritual to help their souls pass on to the afterlife to guide them to Shanoa.
I wasn't asked, but what's that thing?
I don't know.
JC, I have a real quick question about all this. If I remember correctly, I have not heard it talk to me once, right?
You heard the final
Okay.
bit.
Well, I don't know what it was, but have you guys ever heard of a Buran? The embodiment of chaos or something, maybe?
That's what it's called.
What?
I don't know, DM. Have I heard of such a thing?
What languages do all of you know? Starting with Ada.
Common, undercommon, elvish,
Common, undercommon, elvish, and
infernal.
infernal. Okay. Kiva. What languages do you know?
Quarry, Elvish, Dwarvish, Common.
Gerd
Draconic and common.
and May.
Common, draconic, and giant for some reason.
Okay. if anyone wishes to make a history with a bit of a penalty, or religion
I
without
can
the penalty, then by all means roll.
I
I'll
can
roll it.
do that.
I'll roll a
Let me
history.
double check. Don't monks have a thing where they like know languages?
Believe that's
You get it later, and it's only about you can interpret anybody who's speaking to you because you can read the lips and make out
Okay,
what.
I only vaguely understand the language.
The
I'll make it a
quarry
two.
thing, as a note, JC, quarry is the language associated with Kiva, with Lyriel, with
Yes, yes.
Kiva's co-pilot.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 13 for the history. So
13 for history. 18
Do-
for which one? Religion or history?
History, I didn't do religion. Let me double check. I think I have a history thing. No, that's
I'm gonna
just
do
for
religion.
Okay.
I don't think.
So we got an 18 is the highest so far. 18 and a 13 on history. What have you got on religion, Kiva?
23.
23.
Natural 20.
Okay. Ada, are you going to roll?
15 on the die.
Which one are you using, religion or history?
History. She
Yes.
would go to her knowledge.
Okay.
Of
So what's the total? What's the total for you, Ada?
What?
What is the total for you?
Oh, 22.
22. You need to let me know the totals out. I can't read roll 20.
Oh, I said it, and I guess I just said it quietly.
Yep, sorry. It might be the music. Okay, so 22. So, Gerd, unfortunately, you don't know anything in this regard. It's whatever it is, it's whatever it is. An 18 on history. You think for a moment, and the word Buran, that's a title as well as a convention, a term, a subject. But it's in a language you're not familiar with, so you're struggling at that point. With a 22, you know all this, but also know that the language is Sylvan in nature. And you got a natural 20 for a total of 23.
Yep.
Kiva. Just a curiosity, I thought your... Oh no, religion is a intelligence thing. Shut up, DM. 23 natural 20.
Yeah.
Okay, so the natural 20 will give you the bonus kernel. And a 23 obviously is a good thing. So you know that the Buran is... What these creatures are, is perhaps the best way to start it. They are monstrosities, but they are very tied and can be interchanged with an aberration. When there is a imbalance, a great sorrow, a level of death, some form of great tragedy, that leaves a stain in the area, and that's why religious sites tend to cleanse them, and that's why priests go to those places. And even if they're not able to heal a person by sending them on it, it's that level of comfort. If it does nothing more, it's that holding of the hand to prevent this stain on reality. These creatures stem from that stain. The natural 20 bit, they're two different creatures. One of them, the smaller creature, is known as the Flying Horror. For literally it is the representation of nightmares in a vicinity. The other creature is known as a Night Stalker, the large, draconic, serpentine, winged creature. It's known as a Night Stalker. Those creatures are formed where these stains take place. And naturally, as they have progressed and it has been left unchecked, they have caused fear. And thus, the flying horror is the lesser evolution, the evolutionary dead end of a Night Stalker. That is what all of you know with your various roles.
Basically
So,
nothing.
the language is Sylvan. So there are the Buran are a tragedy caused by horrific event, like mass disasters, etc.
Are you looking for me to clarify that? Or is that an assumption
Yeah, sorry.
you're bringing to that? Okay. You don't know that the Buran were Sylvan, you don't know that they're an entity, you don't know they're a title. You, as your character, know that these creatures stem from loss and tragedy, and one has probably created the other, and they're in this reciprocal nature where one is created by loss and sorrow, causes fear, then that thing causes fear and creates this loss and sorrow, and it just escalates and builds. And that's why these two creatures are tied together so intrinsically.
So should we be worried
So the
about
two creatures
that?
feed each other, essentially.
Sorry.
Yeah, they effectively stem from one another. The Night Stalker gives an element of fear, which spawns the flying horrors. The flying horrors then kill with the Night Stalkers, creating loss and terror and pain and anguish, and then that spawns a Night Stalker, and so on and so on and so on.
Okay.
Go ahead, Robin, you were going to say?
No, it can wait until the clarification is done.
No, I'm good with that. I've got that. I've got
Oh,
my
okay.
notes down on that.
I was just saying that should we be worried about the big weird cloud that I assume is made up of these weird things?
Yeah, I think that won't go away, and these creatures won't stop coming until we figure out what's caused this and we fix it.
I agree.
I
I need to,
don't. Oh, sorry.
I need to send a message. I need to rest so I can send a message.
I'm pretty sure
Eva
everyone
sort of
needs to
buries her
rest.
hand into Mologast's fur.
Pretty sure every.
Do we restart our rest? I assume so, right?
Yeah, you'll have to restart the rest.
I guess there's no other option at this point since all of you guys are banged up.
I mean, if we split the two watches between Misty and Hitter, I think the two of them could cover us all. And I think I've got, I can help with at least the first hour of the watch.
I don't mind taking part of the watch too. I want to spend some time with Ether.
Alright, if all of you are so eager, I'm just gonna point down and fall asleep if that's cool. May, do you have my blanket? Oh no, wait. Swings around backpack. Bonk!
May
Like-
and Ada, you have yet to tell the others the information you know.
What
Oh
information
yeah,
do you
I'd
know?
relay
Brian?
the information I know, by the way.
Um,
What?
Those guys sound like a headache.
you see,
Aye,
I'm
just a
pretty
bit.
sure that's actually explicit.
What?
What?
You need to speak up ever so slightly.
I'm pretty sure that's their what they're of.
What they're made of. I don't know. I don't know why it's suddenly very difficult to hear you. You moved away from your microphone.
Is this better?
That's much better.
It literally moved about a millimeter away from my face.
That's really strange.
It's because I'm very quiet, so small changes can create large.
Effects.
Yeah. Well, as far as I'm aware, the name comes from a language I don't know. I don't recognize it. I believe there's supposed to be some kind of, I don't know, what's the proper term for it? They are supposed to be a boogeyman, I believe is the right way to describe it, but more real, but created by that same. If, I'm sorry.
I look
I
at
just like rubs her temples.
Gerd because this sounds like a story our father told us about what happened to him when he was a little kid.
What? What story do you mean, Mel?
It's a nod to Strahd. Do you remember when we met Felix and he was possessed by some kind of nightmare creature?
Oh yeah.
Maybe they're related in some way. Maybe they're similar creatures. Obviously, our father's super far away, but if we can't solve it, it might be an idea to get in contact with him.
I mean, he knows so much shit about magic that he probably knows what we're dealing with, but I don't really want to inconvenience him with this matter. I'm pretty sure a bunch of geniuses like Kiva, Ada, you, and Misty can solve.
Oh, that's possible. That's
I
possible.
am
I'm just
not
saying if we can.
I am not a genius. Not at all. Why would you
I'm
think?
more of a medic.
Genius is a broad term.
It is definitely something I am not. But I think we need to. The first thing I want to do is when we to a place where people are being, that I would like us to be looked at carefully. Yeah, looked at carefully.
Inspected?
Yes, that's the word. For illness.
I mean, I don't feel sick. You feel sick? Feel a little off, but it's nothing bad.
Well, I'm sorry. I still don't quite know how to speak this language.
Are you worried we're sick? Like magically or physically, like with a disease sort of thing.
I don't know what those.
I mean, I can
I do
detect
not know what
magic.
these things are. I feel strange, and I don't know what those things are in any specific sense. So, I wish to be safe.
If
Well,
you want to check what illness you have, if we've got any illnesses, I can check that, but I am gonna need to Take
I
a wee
can
bit of a break, but first.
Of
if
course.
if it's anything
I
to
can
do
also
with
check probably now
what
for illnesses.
if it's anything to do with curses, I think Kiva's first-ish in detecting that department, right?
I can end a disease or certain conditions on people.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can.
Do you
If
wish to
it's
try
anything
that?
magical, I can detect it.
Uh, I'll go up to Ada,
Hmm.
and I'll hold out my hand to you, motioning for you to like put your hand in my hand.
She does.
Um,
She touches you as little as possible, though.
I don't know how to play for this. Okay, I'll kind of do a weird kind of palm reading thing, and I'm going to use Hands of Healing and one disease.
Okay, could you read the full description of the effect to me, or does it just literally say it ends one disease?
Oh, where is it? Physician's Touch. Starting at 6th level, you can administer even greater cures with a touch, and if you feel it's necessary, you can use your knowledge to cause harm. When you use Hands of Healing on a creature, you can also end one disease or one of the following conditions affecting the creature: blinded, deafened, paralyzed, poisoned, or stunned.
Okay, so roll the healing, because I think that'll be appreciated regardless.
Yes. The healing is smart about this. There it is. It's healing. Martial arts. You got, that's a cat's face, so 10 points of healing. Oh, 11 points of healing.
11 points of healing to you, Ada. What is your hit points at right now, and what is your hit point maximum?
11 point healing, you said?
Yes.
With the healing, 33, maximum 40.
33 maximum 40, okay.
Including the detriment
Yes,
applied by
thank you. I'm trying to think of how to word this. As you reciprocate the energies, the life energies between yourself and Ada May,
Mhm.
you feel both in yourself and in Ada not a resistance per se, but a dearth in the flow. It's as if the quantity of life has been reduced by some capacity.
Okay.
So you realise then that there is something obviously afflicting you both, but it doesn't seem to be a disease of sort. Go ahead and roll a medicine for me.
I can do that. Uh, that's not bad. Medicine. Is that a wisdom thing? Okay. 21.
21. It's a faint memory. It's one of those stories that's told as a bit of a bedtime story. Tell me a story, tell me something interesting, Dad sort of moments.
Mhm.
And floating up from the back of your memory, you recall hearing about something called soul drain. Now, the soul is the wellspring which all life and vitality comes from. It's why children's vitality tends to, frankly, leak out of them, and the elderly do not have as much, as their souls are overabundant and reaching their limits. And the soul is an incredibly rare, valued, and treasured resource. Literally, every person only ever has one of them, and anything damaging done to it is highly detrimental. So the fact that there has been some level of soul drain here is concerning. You're 21, you said?
Yeah.
you do know with a 21 that it is not a passive degenerative ailment. It happens, it is done, and most souls are able to regain that aspect of themselves.
Okay.
Why something would want to soul drain? That's up for discussion with many of yourselves, but you now have a finger on it.
Okay, let me finish looking at this. What you're feeling, Ada, is what, if I'm remembering correctly, is called a soul drain. I'm pretty sure it'll get better.
That sounds pretty bad.
It's concerning. But, like I said, I'm pretty sure we'll recover. So we should sleep on it, and I'll check everyone again in the morning if you guys feel that's necessary.
Oh. So, are we gonna see tomorrow if there's more of these flying around, or?
I'm afraid that more might spawn, so leaving someone on watch is a very good idea.
What?
Say that last bit again, Jasmine.
I said leaving someone on watch is a really good idea.
Ah, okay.
Well, that's the plan anyway. But y'all,
Yeah.
y'all were so enthusiastic about that I thought I was finally gonna get a night off.
You're a real braver. Just.
You're doing great, Kiva.
Uh-huh.
I like your dog.
Mm-hmm.
Mal comes over and kind of just nudges up against you.
Kiefer is definitely like kind of clinging on to Mole for like dear life at the moment.
You guys are like,
Definitely doing sort of.
if there is anything else to discuss, by all means. But if not, who is taking watch when? Naturally, we've got Misty and Ada on opposing watches, but who is going to be on watch with whom, and if so, with whom?
I'll take a watch somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
Eva will get up to help with the middle watch.
Okay.
Kurt sleeping in.
Alrighty. Can May, can you roll me a D100, please?
A D100. 66.
66, you would say. 66. Oops, too far. 66. Okay. Okay. In the first instance, Misty is awake with yourselves, and she reclines for a moment and looks at you all. Oh, darling, you look to be troubled. Is everything quite alright?
Yeah. I'll be okay.
Very well. If you need anything, just let me know. I'll do a round of the village and see if I can find anything. I'll be back before you know it. And Misty will depart, leaving May and Kiva to talk if they so wish.
I can talk at the same time as taking care of Ava, right?
Yeah.
Brushing him and talking with him and doing it.
So what do you do and what do you say to Aether?
He is corporeal, so I don't know how to play with him or pet him or anything. I guess I'll just.
There's still substance to incorporeal creatures. There's still a weight to them. It's definitely strange. It's more of a tingle to the palm than a real feeling of warmth or the bristles or the silkiness of scale.
I'll have some rations and I'll like tear them apart and teach you how to do some tricks.
Roll an animal handling.
I can do that. I think I actually have a thing that says that I'm extra good at that.
I believe it's your dragon mark.
Yep. Yes, whenever I make a wisdom animal handling check or intelligence nature check, that's why I have nature. You can roll a d4 now that I've rolled a physical ability check. Yeah. I might switch back to nature at start this game. I remember it was what I wanted. Not bad. 14 plus animal handling. 26.
26. Yeah, with the both yourself, Aether, Kiva, and Mull, there's a little bit of tomfoolery that goes on there, but it's evident that it's more of a going through the motions. There's a level of care being taken, that moment of concern being done, but there's still a level of weight hanging over everything. And Kiva, it's at this moment that the first real words are spoken since whatever it was that scared the bejesus out of her. It's the first time she's really speaking since then. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have run like that. I realised I've concerned you and
It's
that's my
okay.
fault.
Hey, but we're a team. We've been a team since both of us, since before I can remember. You seem to always remember. Because
I know.
yay, different developmental systems, but yeah.
You can't blame me for different developmental
It's okay,
systems.
I
You're the one
know,
that's
I
got
don't-
all the magic.
Yeah.
I don't like them.
I mean, that. No, as do I.
You,
I'm glad that you're here, though.
your friends call them. They said they were the Buran.
Yeah, they're called the Buran, apparently. I know they're a stain on the world, on loss, on tragedy. Don't even know what the Buran are. Oh, I need to send a message. I need to message.
I agree.
I need to message the hierarch.
I think we definitely need to let them know, but at the same time, is it a good idea to investigate a little bit more?
We're
Give
gonna
them more
investigate
information to
more,
work
but
on?
Well, we know there's probably been a great tragedy in the area, and we're probably gonna need some help cleansing whatever the fuck's spawned that shite. Because that's a little bit beyond my strength right now. Maybe in a couple of years, or a couple of months, I don't know. This stuff seems to be quite fluid.
Oh no, you're far too hard on yourself. You'll be able to do it, I'm sure. Besides, if you can't do it, I can. You know, look at me. I'm marvelous. I'm magic. I'm amazing.
Hey,
That's only because I've got you with me.
yeah, it's only because I've got you with me that I can do so much. Well, that and Palor.
That is
God's light.
very true. They didn't. Did you notice their movements? The way they moved? The things they did about themselves?
It was like watching. No living thing should move that fucking way, that's for sure. It's like they had no bloody bones.
Yeah.
The reality just kept changing around them. What the fucking laws of physics do they have follow? Oh,
I think that's exactly
I'm way
it.
out of my depth.
I
When
think
did
that's
you
exactly
suddenly
it.
become ours?
All of this is an internal conversation. Like, you can see Kiva just sort of leaning into her hand
I
and
know.
doing the rubbing on
I was just saying that why did you suddenly become Irish?
Why is who suddenly become Irish?
It sounded like Forge started just randomly doing it.
Forge has been doing Irish this entire time.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've been doing it this entire time.
and been
In
doing it
general,
rather
Hello
well.
Kiva tends to be a little. Yeah. Also, I keep dropping out of it at random intervals because
Yeah, for some reason only
not
just noticed it.
deliberately, but I am trying to keep it going because this is how Kiva speaks naturally. It's also quite hard on the throat because I haven't done this much.
Welcome to being a DM. Imagine having to put on voices for everything. But there was a thing I noticed about them. You said there that what laws of physics do they follow? And that's the thing, I don't think they follow our physics. I
They
don't
said
think
they lurked on the place where we go to sleep. We don't.
no, we don't
Do
do
you think
that.
they mean the place? We don't do. We just share memories together. Do they mean dreams?
I think so. Who was it talking to? Because so many of us here.
I- Hey, May. This is going into
Yes.
out. Well, the creature said it was going. It went to the place where we go when we sleep. The chaos and the madness within.
I believe it said that it couldn't reach us when we were sleeping, actually.
It couldn't reach us when we were asleep.
Yeah. It's from a place of. It's us, from a place of chaos and madness, but it said something about not being able to reach us when we're asleep.
Which means it's not. That's weird. I don't understand. I admit I wonder who it was addressing, because if it was talking to me, well, I think I could make sense of that, but I don't know the rest of you.
Well, let's see. It had to have been talking to. That's difficult to say because Ida and Misty are both dark elves, so they have similar traits. Gerd and I are both humans, so we have similar traits. So I would say that it was most likely
I'm
talking
human
to
too, you know.
Then it had to have been talking to the turtle. He's the only one that's different from us. You, me, and Gerd, we're all the same. Ida and... Well, I guess it could have been talking to either of the three general groups. It could have been talking about... I don't know Torment's name, so I'm just going to call him Turtle. Could have been talking about Turtle. Could have been referring to the Dark Elves, or it could have been referring to the humans. I'm going to say that it's either Turtle or humans, because if I'm not mistaken, elves don't sleep.
Correct.
I'm weird. I'm gonna.
I would say it's more likely us, because do turtles dream?
I assume, as far as I'm aware, everyone dreams.
I don't see why they wouldn't. And well, elves don't dream because they don't sleep.
Yeah,
Maybe they were talking to everyone's dreams.
I might.
Can I think back and try to like roll history or something? I don't know, to figure out who any context clues as to who they were referring to.
I would say if you roll a history and roll high enough, I will repeat what I'll repeat what it says.
I should just take that feat. I did not roll high enough. I got a 9, I think. 9.
9. You have what you have at the moment. Kiva, if you wish to try and recall, then you can do so.
I can. I will. Would that be working off? That would be working off my history as well.
Yeah, it'd be a history, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I will. I'll give that a go.
that go through? That apparently did not go through. 1 second. Oh, wait, it did 12.
12. It's difficult to say exactly contextual clues. The heat of the moment, Lyria's retreat, what was going on, the pain. There was just too many things going on at once, and that it's not clear. You can't recall anything specific.
I don't. Whatever it is, I need to let the order know. I need to contact the Hierarch Brahman and let her know.
What's the order?
The order sent. My order? The order saying to. You would know that the order is. Whenever she refers to the order, she's referring to the order of Saint Calendra of the order of the hospital of Saint Calendra.
Okay.
Which is the order she's a part of. They're an order of healers dedicated to Palor who do mass disaster response in times of mass disaster, but imagine a magical version of FEMA that also run hospitals normally on a sort of, we'll just help you if you can make a donation. That's lovely, but we're here to help first and foremost basis.
Okay.
They're basically they're free healthcare type people. They're there to heal. That is their God's give their money in other ways.
Okay.
We need they need to know. The hierarch needs to know. Hierarch Brahman needs to know, and then she can maybe send some people out here, and we can to deal with the stains, to help us deal with the stains. Because
Do we have time to have some
probably do
people come
something
out
about
here? I think that we should probably investigate this quickly. I don't think that we have time to wait for people.
Definitely we should be investigating it. Just, I want to alert the hierarch sooner rather than later.
It's always good to have backup coming if things go wrong.
It's always good to have backup coming if things go wrong. Again, Lyriel can't really be heard outside of Kiva.
Yeah.
Unless they want to be. It's always good to have backup if things go wrong. Always. Kiva is very nervous and very kind of slightly rocking to Stem as she's talking.
Mull Mull seems to sense this and rolls over and lays his head on your thigh and just back to sleep, but one eye's slightly open.
May is just gonna put her mask on, and she doesn't really know how to help people who are nervous, so she's... If anything goes wrong, I mean, we can both heal, and we kind of know what's happening, so...
Yeah, we do. Okay, hopefully it's a quiet night from now on. Ava fights like a champ, don't she?
Who?
Ada fights like a champ. Ada, she fights like a goddamn champion. An absolute... I'm glad we've got her, you, Gerd.
We have a lot of fighters. It's also good to have healers,
I'm not the best in that. Aye. That's why you're stuck with me, isn't it?
I mean, I can also heal, so...
True. You do a good job of that too.
Thanks. I couldn't really see what everyone else was doing. I was too high up in the air. And those
Yeah,
little things were so
next time,
creepy.
Please don't run off quite so fast. I can't quite keep up with you.
I didn't run away that fast.
No, but you did go up into the air, and if you hadn't noticed,
Kiva sort of gestures at her, using one hand to gesture at where wings would be on, for example, an Aarakocra. And it's like, I don't have wings, or your winged boots, so it's a little hard to keep up with you.
It turned out alright. I didn't get that hurt.
That's.
I think Ada got hurt the most out of all of us, and she stayed mostly on the ground.
Yeah, she does. She's a fragile one, is our Ada. I like her. She's petting. She's sweet. But yeah, you're right. Didn't go too badly, but do try and stay close enough that I can actually get to you if you go down.
I'll try.
Gerd would never forgive if either of us if you didn't get back up.
That's true. You might have to hear from my dad as well, or my older brother.
Given how much of a terrifying bunch of bastards you and your brother are, I'd rather not meet your sibling or your father. No
My
offense.
sibling, my brother, and my father are more like Ada than me and Gerd. They were born with. Well, my father was gifted magic from a goddess, and my older brother, Ismark, was born with lots of magic. Gerd and I weren't so lucky. That's why we have our dragon marks. And I'll lift up my mask to show you the little glowing mark above my left eye.
You've seen the mark before, but it's always something that's pretty and mesmerizing. It doesn't so much move, but it just seems to have that ability to make your eye travel across its surface. And it is, as you know, a distinct blessing, but also carries a heavy curse.
Curse?
Yeah. It's a lot you got yourself into there.
I didn't get myself into anything. It was mostly my dad.
Fair.
Misty returns and sits down back in the hearth space. Alright, you two, I think it's time for you to finish up. I'll rouse Ada and she'll continue on.
Yep.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan.
Breaks out bedroll, and sort of just uses Moll as something of a pillow.
I think I have
He
like
is-
a little
Takes off the
tent.
armor
So I'll
first.
put up my little tent and
He is happy to oblige. Kind of pats you and
Takes off.
gets his paw up and pats you a couple times before nuzzling down again.
Just sort of, ever sort of sleeps curled up into a ball. Generally speaking, that's something anyone who you would all on various watches have noticed is that that Kiva is always a ball, generally tucked in beside Molligast.
The night goes by without great incident. Gerd, you dream of battles, of fighting, of caring, of cooking, of telling tale and walking trail. While Ada, you watch your companions at rest, and strange as they may be and foreign as they act, there's definitely something that you can relate to in their own weird way. Mal and Kiva have a restful sleep, but it's evident that Lyra is being cautious, not quite drifting off into the depths of slumber, while May, you dream of flying. The skies and the clouds, the valleys and the furrows. And as the morning breaks, a chill new dawn, that is where I think we shall wrap up tonight's session. So before we all depart, we must do a few bit of housekeeping. One of which is the play of the night, and the other bit is the moment of the night. So, people in chat, let us hear your voice so we can share and pray tell who, what, and how you enjoyed, as well as you guys. What was it that was the standout moment for you all, both player-wise and across the entire session? I would like to say that I don't think it will be an easy task for you guys to figure out who is the deserving of play of the night, for I was very impressed by all of your abilities in all aspects, the creativity in the combat and the roleplay, how well it moved backwards and forwards, the little tics and personality traits that were coming forward. It was very nice to see. So I will open the floor to you guys.
Glorious moment number one was, of course, Jasmine's skill shot and the double D20 on that, so
That was fun.
that was
Yeah,
fucking
that was
glorious.
impressive.
I think that's the first time I've ever witnessed a double.
That's the first time I've ever double nat 20'd. Actually, it's a lie. I double nat 20'd once on disadvantage.
Yeah.
You saw Tholvik get double nat 20'd in the previous game.
Yeah,
It's a good thing he
Oh,
did, because
yeah.
it would have been death for anybody else.
I was
Yeah.
double nat 20.
Damn. Yeah, that was a glorious moment.
I couldn't believe it.
Also, I really enjoyed you doing the voice. The weird ass, hard to understand voice.
Me?
Just because it's harder to figure out what you're actually saying, which makes you pay more attention, and the whole vibe around it is just like, what the fuck, man. It's good. Anyone else got good moments of the night?
Vi, you are currently muted. I don't know if you know.
I didn't.
Yep, figure that might be a case.
Yeah.
I was about to say I've never rolled a double nat 20, but I rolled double nat ones last session.
Let's face it, we've all had the double nat 1, but the mythical double nat 20 is a one in a game experience.
Yeah.
Mhm. So. Yeah. That's all I had to say.
So who would you nominate as the player of the night? Obviously, so you can't nominate yourself. So what was your
That's just
standout?
rude.
What was your standout moment for your other player companions?
The aura was a really nice touch that probably kept us from just like getting insta-gibbed. I have to give it, but if I have to give it to a single moment of ingenuity, I have to give it to the jump. Who was it? Fighter.
Gerd.
Gerd. I have to give it to Gerd. Just like sitting there doing the math, being like, I can jump, and doing that.
That's pretty. So your nomination goes to Gerd, okay? Gerd, who are you putting your nomination on?
But as I said, my moment of coolness was just the takedown, but I think my nomination is gonna go to Ada simply because she just kept on going while taking so much fucking damage.
Fair enough. So bounce back to between you. Storm, Jazz. Who would you put your mark on?
Um, I have to give it to Gert for not forgetting about the little things in the ground and being the person to take care of them, or at least help take care of them, because I completely forgot about them.
Oh, what you mean covering everyone's back while they're
Yeah,
run one way and there's
yeah,
another dude on the other side?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was really holding back, like trying not to scream out, Jasmine, you're gonna die! Like I was having very vivid flashbacks of my very first time playing a monk and just charging ahead of the team and getting insurrected like 4 sessions in a row. Fuck, yeah.
And that leaves Storm then. Who would you place yours on?
I'm gonna place mine on. For me, it's between Gerd and Ada because Jasmine, you got an absolutely glorious kill, but also Gerd just rushing over to Kiva's side. I need to go. I'm gonna fight the thing in front of Kiva. Even Kiva going, I'm gonna go deal with the healing over there, leaving Gerd on the own. And then Ada just. How much damage? Holy! I forget how squishy wizards are.
Yeah.
But also, you were a badass because as even with taking all of that damage, you were just like, I'm going to be right in the middle of the fight. Like, kudos. Badass. So actually, with that analysis, I am going to, whilst I really appreciate Gerd as well, I'm giving it to you, Ada.
Okay, so we've got 2 on Gerd and 2 on Ada, so that does mean you best hope your departed companions get watching the stream and cast their vote, because if there's a deadlock, I get the DM inspiration to use against you. But that is all we have time for. It has been a really fun game. Sorry it started so late. We'll be attempting to try and rectify that, but with a lot of schedules being up in the air, people moving houses, literally I think 3 people at the moment are moving houses. One of them's planning a wedding, so there's a lot of things going on. So we're doing well, you and me,
Oh my god!
you, me, Storm, and Mask. there's a lot of life going on. There's a lot of life taking place, but
Yeah.
we have
We're all trying to organise things.
we have indeed. But we have been Play of the Night. Let everyone know about us. In the not so distant, cameras will be coming on, people will be able to be seen. We're going to be doing a big update on our streaming systems. I've seen a couple things that I want to implement, so we will be hopefully putting them into play in the next couple games. Make sure to come back on Sunday for the Sunday game, previously known as the Vanguard of Ujex. Not really sure what this group's going to be called, but I'm sure we'll find out eventually. But that's all for now. Thank you everybody and stay safe. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We should be called like the Life Guardians or something. That'd be cool.